káàbọ̀ sórí ètò wa fún tòní orúkọ tèmi padà ọmọbìnrin owó Ayekooto ọ̀nà ni èmi ń jẹ́ ọwọ́ tó ẹ̀kọ́ rèé tí ó ń wo ètò wa wọ́n rí pé kẹ́ bá subscribe sórí YouTube channel wa bẹ́ẹ̀ sì ni kẹ́ bá àti lóṣù àbẹ̀lẹ̀ jẹ́ náà kọ́ tó máa ráwọn ètò wa àmà ṣe mú wa fún ọlọ́jọ́ kọ̀ọ̀kan kí ló ta tó mú wa fún wa lónìí lágbo òṣèré lágbo òṣèlú àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ọ̀nà ni àwọn ètò wa yìí lórí lónìí lágbo òṣèlú ọ̀nà ni ń ta lọ kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ lágbo òṣèlú ẹ wá lọ wò bí Rufai àti Abati bí wọ́n ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní kó fún Wike gbàásìgbò bó sì gbà lórí kí sì ni o lórí ọ̀rọ̀ tí Wike sọ wípé Peter Obi ò yẹ lẹ́ni tí ó yẹ kó díje fún ipò ààrẹ tàbí kó wá sínú ẹgbẹ́ PDP ó ní nítorí pé Peter Obi ò ní kárátà kankan eléyìí tí ó lè fi díje fún ipò ààrẹ nínú ẹgbẹ́ PDP eléyìí ó náà ní Rufai àti Abati ni wọ́n gbà mọ́ra wọn lọ́wọ́ táwọn náà sọ wípé tó bá rí bẹ́ẹ̀ níṣẹ́ ló yẹ kí Wike gan kí òun gan lọ yẹ kárátà tí ẹ wò torí ìwà tí Wike gan ìwà tí ẹ ò dáa gẹ́gẹ́ bí àti ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo fídíò ọ̀hún bó ṣe lọ.
Nyesom Wike, right? That's his name.
Yes.
The
Minister of the FCC.
yeah. That's
Media Pali.
That's the title he currently bears. Now he is saying that if Mr. Peter Obi comes back to the PDP will be destroyed because Peter Obi doesn't have the character, having condemned PDP as a rotten party, to come back to the PDP. Wike is not in a position to talk about character. Okay? He is not the one to talk about character. In fact, if he talks about character, he should question his own character. I don't know why people have problems with basic intelligence and decorum. He goes on television and he says, Peter Obi doesn't have character. Peter Obi left PDP and went to Labour Party. Now he's in ADC. In fact, it is Wike himself that destroyed the party. And he also says President Jonathan should not come and run on the platform of the PDP because he's a statesman. And all of that. He's not in a position to advise President Jonathan, just as he has made it clear that nobody can advise him. These are some of the issues in the last 24 hours, okay? And who is he to determine the destiny of the People's Democratic Party when he is already in another political party? And I blame the media. The media gives him platform to disparage other political opponents. Yesterday he was talking about Peter Obi, he was talking about President Jonathan, he was talking about Nasir Rufai. What gives him that moral high ground to talk recklessly and unintelligently? Because the media, what is the media looking for? The media, they are the ones who go to interview him, they are the ones who collect money to put him on the air. If he's talking about the FCT, yes, fine. But if he's disparaging other political opponents, the media has an obligation to give all the other persons that have been disparaged to have a right of reply. So we should not create a situation whereby, for monetary reasons, the Nigerian media is sucking up to a minister.
ṣe ti wá rí báyìí fídíò ọ̀hún náà láwọn Yorùbá ní oṣù ònùdí èèyàn mélòó gan ló fẹ́ sọ fún un lágbo òṣèlú oríṣiríṣi nǹkan ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ àwọn kan tó dẹ̀ ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí wọ́n ń lò ó láti lè fi dínà àti lè ṣe rere ni wọ́n ń lò ó láti jẹ́ kí àwọn ènìyàn lè rí eléyìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹni tó dáa tọ̀hún gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹni tó burú bẹ́ẹ̀ àpò ara wọn òun náà ni wọ́n ń jà fún kò sí ẹni tó ń jà fún mẹ̀kúnnù wọn ara wọn gan ni wọ́n ń jà fún ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ gbọ́n tí Rufai ẹ̀gbọ́n tó sọ nípa Wike bẹ́ẹ̀ sì ni ẹ̀gbọ́n tí Abati náà ẹ̀gbọ́n tó náà sọ nípa Wike àwọn wọ̀nyí wọ́n mọ̀ wọ́n dáadáa nítorí pé gbogbo pátá wọ́n jọ ń ṣe wọ́n jọ ń jẹ ni tá a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Wike gbogbo wa la mọ̀ ìwà àti kárátà tó wà lọ Wike tá a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Obi gbogbo wa náà la mọ̀ ìwà àti ìṣe àti àwọn méjèèjì bẹ́ẹ̀ sì ni Wike náà gbẹ̀yìn Wike sọ pé ó ní Jonathan gan ó ní kò yẹ lẹ́ni tó yẹ kó wá tún wá díje ní ipò ààrẹ nínú PDP tá a bá sì gbàgbé pé Jonathan ọ̀hún olóṣokùnfà ibi tí Wike dé lónìí ń tà ń pè lọ́rọ̀ òṣèlú yẹn pé no permanent friend no permanent enemy ẹni tó jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ lónìí ó lè padà wá di ọ̀tẹ̀ lọ́la nínú òṣèlú ẹ ká tún tẹ̀síwájú bá tún ṣe máa gbọ́ bí wọ́n tún ṣe ń gbà síra wọn gbàásìgbò lágbo òṣèlú gbàásìgbò tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ń bẹ̀ èmi àti yín ẹja jọlọ mu tiwa ń bẹ̀ ó yá.
The Federal Republic, who in my view is overreaching himself.
See, the Minister Wike, I think rather than doing all of this is political talk, I have work for him to do. I hear 3rd Avenue around Gwarimpa, there's a rubbish pile.
I saw
there.
you post that. It was so sad.
He should go and clean things like that. And the other place that they are rubbish pile in Abuja, because he's not busy enough. Rather than coming to play this hypocritical game he plays. The same person that is abusing Obi today.
Yes.
Please, you that are watching us, go and Google the video of Yisem Yesowiko praising Obi that he was the hero of the election. That is the one that didn't make power go to the north. That if he didn't come out, that is the hero of the election. He was praising him to high heaven.
Yes, we saw that. You took it
The
on
same
one string.
Peter Obi, Yisem Wike that is saying Peter Obi distorted the party. Ask him, did he allow Atiku Abubakar, the candidate of his own party, campaign in Rivers State in the last election? Ask him. Didn't they bring the situation about, they didn't book stadium and all of that? Ask him. Didn't he destroy his party because things didn't go his favor? Didn't Dino Melaye said he called him 19 times to solicit so that he would get vice presidential ticket running spot. When he didn't get that, he scattered his party. Ask him if he had become vice presidential candidate, will he have said all he's saying? Today, that he's saying that Jonathan should be elder statesman and ask him, is it not Jonathan's wife that solicited for him when he even wanted to emerge in the first place? Is the Jonathan's not his benefactor? Ask him. So you see, when people talk, when it favors them, and like Dr. Abati said, you are correct, and I've always said this, because they have the monopoly of media, because Nigerian media is struggling in such a way that you can buy airtime, you can come and talk, and they feel once they have the floor, they will talk, and people will not fact-check them or anything. So he says a lot of things that are subject to fact-checking. You see, when things does not go his way, he screams blue murder. He has the autonomy of thought because you can put a media chat on 2 or 3 stations and call journalists there to talk to you. And even half the time, you will not even allow the journalists talk. You will shout them down. You will destroy their credibility. You will say they don't know what they are saying. You want to even teach those that are coming to ask you questions and all of that. Wike also said many things yesterday, and that's the grouse I just have about all of this. A Jonathan running in the PDP where Wike holds would be a big problem for a Jonathan. And that's why those that are supporting him should look at this. Because with what I saw yesterday in the media charts, the PDP has not solved the Wike problem. It's still there, it's still rife. Wike was quoted to have said in that media chart that after we had done the work of fixing the party, somebody will now come. He said the same for Peter Obi, and he has a very strong point. You can hate him all you want. Oh, he was the one that scattered the party. They pushed the likes of Atiku Abubakar out with their wahala and everything. But you just thinking Jonathan will breeze in a party when then Wike reigns supreme and they fought for most of these things. It's not going to hold water. Because this was the same Jonathan that was being touted for the APC at a point. That was in the last election cycle before that ambition came to naught. So for all of those that think Jonathan will be able to have a quick inroad in a party that is largely dominated by a Wike, I think they should think again. And that's where we're going to have the battle royale.
Without prejudice to the fact that Nyesom Wike, as a citizen of Nigeria, as a member of a political party, as a politician, can express his opinions, I think that he's not in a position to be presumptuous and rude on his own part to think that he can dictate options to other players within the same polity. In other words, it does not lie in his mouth to tell Mr. Peter Obi whether or not he should return to the PDP. Even if he expresses that opinion, he cannot go as far as saying that if Peter Obi decides to return to the PDP, then he will destroy the party because Peter Obi had said previously that the PDP is a rotten political party on the basis of which he decided in the lead up to the 2023 elections to join the Labour Party. So Nyesom Wike occupying a moral high ground. He does not have the credentials to occupy that moral high ground. He says Peter Obi will come and destroy the PDP. What is he himself doing in the PDP other than destroying the PDP? He talks about character. If it is the issue about character, he cannot be in the right place to talk about character. Because the major issue in terms of his own membership of the People's Democratic Party is about his character. He is in the party and he's sabotaging the same party and he's giving a lecture on morality. So I see a contradiction here. And I see, a conflicted personality. Personalities are conflicted when, they don't understand basic issues about decorum and even basic common sense. Now, as for President Goodluck Jonathan did not leave the party. Okay? He has always been in the party. He says President Jonathan is a statesman. He should not come to the PDP. Again, President Jonathan has not spoken on this. Yeah. The people who have spoken are his cousin, Azibaola, and also, Ikechukwu Eze, his media assistant. And they both say, we don't need anybody's advice, whether it's Keyamo or it's Nyesom Wike. And so it's a very fluid situation. But in other words, it's up to the individuals involved to make up their own minds. So let Wike not give lectures presumptuously about choices that other people can make, when he himself does not even listen to advice from other people. So the issue about character that he has raised is about him. Now, about the eligibility of President Jonathan, which is very controversial. The issue is as follows. It's a matter of law, first. It's also a matter of politics. I don't know which one you want to place first or second. Now, the truth of the matter is that there has been out there in the public domain attempts by members of the People's Democratic Party, some of them, including the governor of Bauchi State, including the senator representing Benue South, including Professor Jerry Gana and others, saying that they want President Jonathan to come back where he never left the PDP. That point must be emphasized, to lead the party. And that also Mr. Peter Obi should return to the party. He is the one that left the party ahead of the 2023 presidential elections, should return to the party. The calculation, particularly with regard to President Jonathan, that he, having been president once before now, would return to serve only one term, and that he will serve the interests of those in the northern part of the country who are saying, bring back our Goodluck Jonathan. So there is a tendency in the north that, look, to sabotage President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to make sure that the APC leaves government and that Tinubu serves only one term. Their best bet will be a man like President Goodluck Jonathan, who has very strong international reputation, to whom many Nigerians have apologized for, the misconduct, for the misassessment, for the wrong, narrative about him in the 2015 general election. I know many people who are apologizing to him. Now they want to make up. They are now saying, oh, bring back our Jonathan, bring back our good luck, having experienced, years of bad luck under the APC government. So they say. I'm not the one making that statement affirmatively. Now, the issue that has now arisen from this is legal. Namely, Section 1371, sub 1 of the 1999 Constitution, Section 137, sub 3 of the 1999 Constitution. And those who are pushing that matter are saying that President Jonathan can now be sworn in twice as president. But there is a subsisting Federal High Court of Yenagoa case decided upon by Justice Dasham, that's his name, when two politicians went to the Federal High Court in Yenagoa and argued that President Tinubu ahead of the 2023 election, because there were persons who were saying President Jonathan could run in the 2023 election. And Justice Dasham, quickly, in order not to go into legalese, said that, look, that amendment of Section 137, sub 3, does not apply to President Jonathan. It's a trite principle of law. Any sophomore student of law, will know that legislations, laws, enactments, statutes cannot have retroactive effect or retrospective effect. Section 137 sub 3 having been amended to say that a man who has been sworn in twice to the position of the president of Nigeria cannot run again, will not apply to President Tinubu. The position of the Dashem, which has not been appealed at a higher court of jurisdiction, is simply that the law cannot have retroactive or retrospective effect. In other words, President Goodluck Jonathan is qualified to run. And the fact, Justice Dashem also said in that particular case that he was vice president does not preclude him from running again. So on the surface of it, however, Chidi Odinkalo has written an opinion saying, look, this is a mischievous judicial system. Judges looking for favor from the Tinubu administration may want to use it, to play the game one way or the other. That's Chidi Odinkalo's opinion. But we hope that if the APC uses this matter, that the judiciary will stand up on the side of the truth of the law. Secondly, there's an opinion by Onikekwa Braithwaite. Onikekwa Braithwaite in This Day Law Pages today. She is the law editor of This Day. She's saying there is a lacuna between Section 137 sub 1, Section 137 sub 3. Well, she tried to define what the lacuna is. But the superior argument will lie in the court of Justice Dashem and the decision, the 2022 decision, which has not yet been appealed. However, in the midst of all of this, President Jonathan himself has not spoken. I know Robert Azibaola, his cousin, rejected the advice, the counsel given by third parties, particularly Festus Keyamo, SAN. And he says, well, nobody is soliciting for, advice. President Jonathan himself has not come out categorically to say this is where I stand in this matter. Ikechukwu Eze, who is the current media advisor to President Jonathan, has also written a piece on the back page of This Day newspaper yesterday, where, he said, look, we're not looking for advice. The president can make you up his own mind. However, that's the way it is. But we would like to hear either from Mr. President Jonathan or from Mr. Peter Obi. All these speculations do not help the polity. They're not healthy, for the polity.
Bó ṣe rí ní agbo òṣèlú lónìí, ó náà lèmi àti yẹn láti jọ rí yìí, bẹ́ẹ̀ sì ni ọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú ni bó ṣe rí nìyẹn. No permanent friend, no permanent enemy. Bí wọ́n ṣe jọ máa jọ kó fúnra wọn, tí wọ́n mọ tú àṣírí ara wọn, tí wọ́n mọ sọ̀rọ̀ burúkú sí wọn lélẹ́yìí, ìyẹn ò dẹ̀ ní pé kí wọ́n jọ máa jọ jókòó pọ̀ nígbà tí àṣeyẹyẹ tàbí nǹkan bá ṣẹlẹ̀. Ẹ jọ rí wọn, wọ́n jọ rẹ́rìn síra, wọ́n jọ bọ̀ra wọn lọ́wọ́. Ọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú nìyẹn. The politics is a very dirty game. Ìwọ tó bá máa play nìkan, òun ò lè mórí bọ́ níbẹ̀.